Daily game design time. It's still hard to say, but if I prep, if I'm like mentally locked in, I can do it. Okay, today my expectation is that I'll finish a full draft of Sugar Shack. What that means is um, I'm not going to really spend a lot of time on the graphic design or iconography stuff, but basically what that means is deciding on or thinking of brainstorming and deciding on it looks like five mayor's favor cards. So I have 3 designed right now. And what I realized yesterday is that these mayor's favor cards, they lock down a building. They lock down a building until it's resolved. Previously, they were like off to the side, so you could still activate the building, or you could resolve a mayor's favor card. But in this case, what I'm thinking is they just get stacked on top of a building. And I didn't really consider what effect that would have. But it could be, I don't know, it might be a cool thing. It might motivate players to go and figure out, figure out how to reach the whatever condition, meet the condition. It might motivate players to do that. At the same time, it might shut the game down. So, like for instance, if two mayor's favor cards showed up and they covered, one was for Closterby Market and one was for, what's the other tier one? You know what? I have more. There are no tiers anymore. That's what I have to accept. There are just building costs. So, so it's not as worrisome as I thought. Now that I'm reconsidering, because right now, I will be a little tired. I think I slept around 11. Woke up around 4:15. But this is stream until I have a full draft or bust. By the way, I had a nice game of Isle of Cats last night. It's been a long time since I played that. I like it. It's just busy. There's just like, I think this is a complaint that I'd heard expressed and I now agree with. It's that the game seems underdeveloped, and that is a snooty way of saying the designer probably could have cut some stuff. And the main reason we can say that is because in later games in the same world, there are other Isle of Cats games, the designer did cut out stuff. So streamlined things. So Isle of Cats was their first game, definitely the first published game. I think it was like a small self-published game. And anyway, cool details, the artwork is fine, but the gameplay needed some streamlining, and the designer recognized that, and it showed up in later games. There's another exchange that I'm pretty excited about. So there was a post I commented on yesterday in BGDL. That's the Board Game Design Lab Facebook group. And it turns out that the original poster, so I commented on somebody else's comment, and the LP commented on my comment and said, "Oh, cool. Remember we had, I almost designed graphic. I almost did the illustration for one of your games. Look, now I'm doing it myself." So this person has already a funded Kickstarter. I think it opened up a few days ago, or launched a few days ago, which is great. And so anyway, it turned into like a pretty fun exchange, or like just Facebook messaging exchange. And I think it's her very first game. It looks really fun. It's just a simple card game, very simple card game. Some take that elements. You're just trying to stack cards to reach a certain number. You're stacking numbered cards 1 through 7, to reach the number 25. And then people can like steal stuff from you, or make you like trade hands or something like that. So there's a bunch of chaos, but it sounds very short and sweet, easy to teach. But some things stood out to me, and I think I'm actually going to go there really quick, because remember, I got time. I'm going to stream until... I don't think I'm going to show... What's the best way to do this? I don't need you to see your name or anything like that. Actually, I don't know. I don't know why not. This is mostly... This was me trying to articulate for myself like a design philosophy. So again, it's a very, very simple game. And what I realize with a lot of these games is that, especially like enjoying, like being caught in the wave of, in the tsunami of Omar's trick-taking obsession. So I'll sit down, I've sat down to several trick-taking games with Omar, and we played another one on Monday night, Nick's game. Really fun little hand-shedding game. And so with, seeing these games, just recognizing that with many of these, well, especially something simple, like you have a deck of cards, and there's some numbers on some of the cards, and there's some actions on some of the cards. There is an infinite number of ways to process this game. To like, you could pick basically any number of rules, and you could do a million different things on your turn, right? Up to the designer. What's the best experience for the player? There's so many options. Are you drawing one card? Are you drawing two cards? Are you playing one card? Are you playing out your hand? Are you allowed to stick, if you're building a stack of cards, are you allowed to stick a numbered card in the middle of the stack, or does it have to go on the top of the stack? There's literally an infinite possible arrangement here. And so it's interesting now to develop a system, a filtering system for ideas. So what ideas are on the table and what ideas are not? Well, this is audience defined. A lot of it is audience defined. What is your audience interested in? What can they handle? But then to help you pare down the options, I think a design philosophy is really helpful. And so I've absorbed ideas. Chris Baki, talked with him for a while. He's been an inspiration for me in the way that he clearly articulated what he finds important in design. How he thinks about interesting choices. That's the main... That phrase, interesting choices, is one that he comes back to a lot, and one that now I do as well. But one of the things that's been really helpful is thinking in terms of feel good and feel bad moments. Stream health seems okay. YouTube is struggling a little bit. Yeah, Twitch is also struggling a little bit. wonder if I can kill some things here. Okay, so these are some examples, and now here, it's also interesting, like, especially when interacting with a designer, it turns out that she's playtested this a lot. She didn't playtest it with any other designers that I know of, at least, or that she knows of. But it's very different testing with designers and testing with non-gamers and gamers. It's actually different. And then that's super different. Non-gamers and gamers, testing with those two groups is really different. But first of all, I made this disparaging claim. The issues with testing with non-gamers and friends seem to be that they're not likely to give fully honest feedback. And that's people either wanting to be nice or not knowing how to give honest feedback. And that's kind of the second point here. And I've seen this myself. I've noticed it in myself as I've grown to be a better playtester. They aren't generally sensitive to their experience enough to know why they're having certain feelings. They might say, oh, I don't like that. They might say, oh, that doesn't feel good. Like, what's up? Like, can you tell me any more? Like, what exactly is it that you don't like? And some of them could, I suppose, but so many people are just kind of caught up in the game. They might not be thinking, oh, I wish this was different. I wish this didn't happen to me. I wish I could play more. Like, I don't feel good, but they might not realize that they don't feel good because, like in this case, maybe they want to play more than one card out of their hand, but they can't. Maybe they don't make that connection. Anyway, I find that designers are a little more sensitive about stuff like that. And then the last point here is they haven't played enough games to know that other designs offer more satisfying experiences than the design they're playing. So this is a big one too. And I'm pretty convinced of this. The idea that when somebody who hasn't played very many games is playing your game, and your game offers even a slight improvement on the games that they've played before. It's Uno, Risk, Monopoly, Exploding Kittens, apples to apples. Like if that's the range of games they've played, almost anything is going to be more interesting. It's not to say that those games are not interesting at all, but they're not very interesting. So if your game offers any more meaningful choices, offers a more explosive, interesting, I just said Exploding Kittens and explosive, if it offers anything less random, right? If you feel like you have more agency, I should kittens. But if your game offers something more thematic, anything more, it's probably going to be somewhat positive. It's probably going to be like, oh, that was cool. Wow, that was really fun. But if they haven't played the 50 games that ditched a concept, ditched a mechanic from the game you're playing as a way of solving some experience-based issue, if they haven't played the 5 games that have solved this particular problem or handled this problem differently, then they might not. Of course, they wouldn't know that the experience could be even better if you tweak a few things. So that's what I'm highlighting here. So I'm just going to describe this. It's not that I feel like, this has to be gospel. The main thing is what I'm articulating here in this feedback or in these observations is part of my design philosophy. So that's what I want to show up in Sugar Shack, to show up in South Shore Vibes, to show up in Ravens. It's something related to what I'm thinking through here. And so it has to do with increasing interesting decisions, which is something like also related to player agency. Increasing feel-good moments, and that I think generally involves feeling clever. It depends on the game, right? Because it could be like feeling sneaky. But I think clever and sneaky, sneaky is probably a version of clever, right? Powerful. So clever, powerful, funny, or interesting. So if a player, like, I think feel good moments come from those things. There's probably more too, but I think those are 4 big ones. How often does the player feel clever, powerful, funny, or interesting? So it's increased player agency or interesting choices. Another one I was thinking to add was reduce unnecessary cognitive load. So that has to do with streamlining and elegance. So I guess that's 2 so far. Then increase the number of feel-good moments and decrease the number and impact of feel-bad moments. So that's what I focused on here, was highlighting some possible feel-bad moments. And now I haven't played the game. That's a confession. It matters as well, because then, you know, as we had our exchange, me and this designer, you know, after I wrote this stuff, then she was saying how much she's play tested. People have a great time with it. I actually don't doubt that. I don't doubt they've had a really fun time, and it's partly because I can't imagine everything about the experience here, right? But I can imagine the effect of some systems, and so that's what I'm highlighting here. Like feel-bad moments, potential feel-bad moments. And these apply to other games too. So that's one reason why I just want to go through these really quick. Building something over several turns that gets completely destroyed because of bad luck or an attack. That often doesn't feel good. You've invested in something, you put a lot of time and effort into something, you know, maybe this happens in Magic all the time, where you build out your tableau and then somebody just like blows everything up. That doesn't feel good. You can get used to it, but it still doesn't feel good, right? Stalling out, waiting to draw the exact card you need, that doesn't feel good. Boring turn, lame turn, ineffective turn. You know, I'm discarding a card, hoping to draw the right thing. Or, you know, this happens in mass market games a lot, I've noticed. You just kind of hope for the best. You know, in Phase 10, Uno, Quirkle, a lot of these, most like set collection, like classic set collection games, you're just hoping to draw into that 4 because that's gonna you know, complete your run and you'll go out and whatever. But you're not getting it, so you're just like discarding drawing, or whatever it is, whatever the mechanic is. That doesn't feel good. There's nothing interesting about that. It's just you're going through a cycle hoping for the right thing, and it's just, if it doesn't come, it doesn't come. If you're forced to play a card that would blow up your own stuff. So this is one of the rules in the game at this point, is you have to play a card in your turn, and it so happens that card might make you bust. So that, I feel like that would be kind of sad, right? Having no hope because I'm limited to what I have in my hand on my turn. That's one thing I actually talked with Phil about this last night. I think that's fine. I think there might be some trade-offs in either direction here, and this idea came from the mechanic in her game where you draw up at the end of your turn. So with the potentialities I just described, where you might be sitting on a hand of cards that's just going to force you to bust next turn, you know, and now you're waiting through 4 other people's turns, and you're just going to have to play the card that makes you bust. Like, that doesn't sound that fun to me. You know, this kind of mounting anxiety and kind of like, what the heck? Why am I? This is kind of annoying, right? Whereas at the start of your turn, if you were able to draw at the start, you could at least sit and hope If you sit and you know what your fate is and you're just waiting for people's turns, waiting for you to have to blow yourself up, like that doesn't seem that fun to me, right? However, if you're able to, if you have everything you're going to have for your next turn, you're able to plan. And I think that's also good. It's a little more efficient time-wise, so that's cool that the game's going to swing around the table a little faster because, well, you've got what you've got. So even, I don't know, the board state is probably going to be pretty dynamic for this really simple game. So even then, you're probably not going to be able to make plans super often that that will definitely apply when it's your turn again. Anyway, for a game like this, where the stakes are pretty high, where you have to get exactly the right number, otherwise you bust, it seems to me that hope is maybe important. But anyway, that was one thing. And the last one is having a poor hand without much ability to change it. So the one rule that I read here in this game is if you can't legally play a card, by the way, I know I'm reading off to the side here. My uncle was talking about how it looks like I'm looking for planes all the time. That's funny. Anyway, the rule in the game is if you can't legally play any cards, discard a card and then draw a card, because you always draw back up to 5. And for me, it's like, why can't I just pitch my whole hand? Or why can't I discard 3 and draw 3? Right? That's not a lot of rules overhead. It's just like, why not give your players a little more flexibility? Especially for such a random game, and you're hoping just to draw the right card. That seems kind of sad. You can't play anything, so you have to. You can only get rid of 1 of 5 things that you can't play, and then hope that the one thing you gain is going to work. That feels a little sad. Anyway, you can see my process now, right? You can see I'm learning to be clear about what I think I want to build into my games and what I'd like to design out of my games. Anyway, it's been really fun to chat with her and just be excited about her success already. The thing is, like, the game looks good. It looks simple. I'm pretty sure I'm going to back it. And I back very few games. Card games I'm more willing just because they're so packable. And I like being able to take little games with me places. But anyway, it's cool. I don't think I wouldn't have meant to overwhelm her with ideas, or like pressure that like, oh, your game sucks real bad. Like that wasn't my point. What I'm trying to say is, if I was playing, I would be thinking, why am I doing this? And then an interesting thing too is like she talked about encouraging people to house rule. And after I thought about that for a little bit, I don't hate that idea. Like if like I said, you got a game now. Her system is so simple and elegant. I really like it. Like just cards 1 through 7. It's like having a deck of playing cards. There's an infinite number of games you could make and play with that. And so she's giving people a kind of a canvas. She's giving people their own little playground, and they can just make up their own rules if they want. I don't think that's not part of my design philosophy. I want to design the experience. I want to at least offer a target experience. If people don't like it and they want to change it after, that's fine. And I'm not saying she is doing that. It's like, hey, play this, do whatever you want. But I think it's a mistake to like fall back on the idea, okay, even if I'm not gonna make any more design decisions. I want the players to make the design decisions. I think that's a mistake, personally. Anyway, let me get back to, because I'm gonna be streaming until I'm done, so I might as well get working on it. Thanks for joining. Okay, so what do I have so far? I'm gonna go back out to the grid view here. So I have Flapjack Feast. Let's look at these. So this is sitting on top of, I wonder if this should be shifted up. But this is sitting on top of the gift shop, and they activate for 2 cubes, 2 syrup. They activate it. The effect is ongoing. That's what this infinity symbol means. And the condition is that they have completed the bottom row of the pyramid. And once they've done that, they take this card. If they've met this condition, they activate the card by spending cubes. Then they take this card, flip it over, and now anytime they would discard a syrup cube, instead of discarding it to the Grant office, they can discard it here to the pancake house, the flapjack house. At the end of the game, they can make up to 15 money by doing that. So if later on in the game, they've got all the upgrades they want from the Grant office, then at least those cubes that they trash are gonna be worth points, right? So that's nice. That could be really strong. Anyway, so that's the first one I finished. Okay, this one I feel like is probably overpowered as well, but maybe they should all have great effects. So this one says, have 20 or more money, activate this building, and then, and this is, I think, crazy, run your Sugar Shack. In other words, you basically get to refill your Sugar Shack and then make the same decisions about how many cubes you want and that kind of stuff. You get to run your Sugar Shack again. That's what these arrows mean on the Sugar Shack. So I think this could be a big deal. So suddenly, like, if you, let's say you had 3 cubes on your turn, you run your Sugar Shack, and then now suddenly you have a 6. Well, you've spent 2 here, right? So then you have a 4 Sugar Shack turn, like basically a fresh turn. So that could be a long one to watch for the other player, but it could be really cool to like combo. The issue here is you need to save 20 money, and who's going to want to do that? Because that means yeah, that's cool. So that means holding off on buying, that means spending a couple of turns at least holding off on buying an upgrade or buying a community project. So maybe it should be more, actually. Maybe it should be more money. Because here's the issue then. Well, 20 money is actually going to be kind of hard to spend all in one turn, but at least, so they're going to run their Sugar Shack again, and they're going to get a bunch of cubes, so they're able to spend that 20 money this turn. So it could be that they do an upgrade, and then they also, they also come back to the bank, drop something in the bank, or what else would they be spending money on? There's, I guess, and they could just go, no, there's not enough cubes for a community project. Imagine they had a massive turn, though. No, I think this is safe. It'll take them a couple turns to spend off. So it takes them time to gather enough money for this. 20 money, it's not nothing. That's going to take at least 3 turns, probably, depending on when this card comes out. And it covers the bank. So if somebody just had a massive bank turn, and then this card comes out, and they come and get this one. That would be crazy, but it'd be awesome. Okay, so that will sit on the bank and shut down the bank for a little while. Okay, and then the rolling barrel. Here's one. This is like a graphic design thing I wasn't really sure about. So all it takes to do this is to activate the building. So there's no condition shown here because the condition is here. It's just activate. Because on all of these cards there is an activation cost. It's still cubes, 2 cubes, and here the activation cost is 3 cubes. So it's kind of expensive. It's gonna be most of a turn or all of a turn to do it. But what happens is you gain this card, and then on a later turn, or I guess any time, you can discard this card and basically claim a barrel. So it's a free barrel. That's cool. Yeah, I feel like that's pretty good. And the cost is not much. It's a full turn pretty much. But it's a barrel. And barrels can be lucrative because you could either be getting 10 or 12 money, 10 to 12 money. There's another 12 money, or is that it? Anyway, 3 cubes for 12 money is not bad. It also makes me think there should be, like, Mayor's Favor is probably going to be the tiebreaker. I doubt it's very unlikely there would be a tiebreaker. You know what? What if you earned like 4 Mayor's Favor cards as another win con? Oh, wow. Oh, man. That's pretty good. So, I think this is pretty nuts. Huh. Yeah, oh man. I like this a lot actually. So, Sugar Shack. Okay, new win con. Collect 4? Because I think there are going to be... So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So if you collect half... No, I think it should be 5 then. Because the thing is, you're motivated to get these anyway, right? Yeah, that's the thing. You're motivated to get these cards, so I think it should be a lot of cards. So if you get the majority of possible cards, collect 5 Mayor's Favor cards. That also, it's probably not possible, honestly. But if you can do it on your way to 3... So right now the win cons are this. One, get 3 community projects. That's this card right here. And that's really expensive. So that's 34 money to do that. So if you just let somebody go, 34 is not crazy money to collect. But if you just let somebody have all these projects, then okay, that's it. 3 community projects. Could make it 4, I guess. No, leave it. 3 community projects. Or this the maple tree stand, the cops. No, that wouldn't be a cops. The sugar bush. That's what I was looking for. Oh, it says right here. The sugar bush runs out, and whoever has the most money when the sugar bush runs out, that's the winner. And so I actually like this idea of adding a 3rd win con. Maybe it's too much, but I like it. Collect 5 mayor's favor cards. So there are 8, so that is the majority. I don't hate that idea at all. What I think is cool about what I think is shaping up nicely in this game is I've been wanting to call it a mini Euro or a mini sandbox game, and it could be that there are too many things you could do in this game. In other words, people could be paralyzed by choice, which is not cool. But I kind of don't think so, because you could sort of pick a strat and go with it, right? So you could just try to get upgrades and gain money and try to end the game, like rush the end of the game. So you're just like paying for extra cubes. You're figuring out how to just you're just gaining money, and you're not trying to spend it. You're trying to be as efficient with your money as possible, so that you're focused on gaining, right? The other thing you could focus on is gaining in order to buy community projects. So like, how do you have the cube production you need? Actually, I really like this, because if you time it well, and you buy your 3rd community project, you're good, right? If you buy it just before the end of the game. If you are spending money on community projects and the opponent is not, but they're rushing to get the cubes to drain the sugar bush, then you will have spent a whole bunch of money on these community projects, but they won't pay off because that person, because the end game's triggered, all the cubes have run out, so that's it. So there's almost no way, if the other player doesn't pay into community projects, then you've spent all this money, and you just didn't time it well. I think that's a cool problem. But then if the player is also paying attention to these mayor's favor cards coming out, and they're meeting these goals regularly, like here, this one's easy to collect, right? That one's easily done. This one is harder, but like, it helps you toward other goals anyway, so it's not that crazy to get this one. And then this one, yeah, I think the gift shop is not going to be a favorite for people, but just getting this, the gift shop is still going to pay out. It's still going to give you 6 money for doing this, because right now it's two money per cube placement right here. So it's still good. It's still like, sure, of course. And then once you do that, I think you're definitely incentivized to do that anyway, because then you start getting some cubes in your pool. So I like a player being kind of driven around to the all the mayor's favorite cards as well. 5 might be 5 might be too many. I'm not sure. We'll have to find out. Okay, so back to actually doing some planning here. Like this is not worth caring about. I should make copy this guy. Okay. And each one of these, each one of the buildings is going to have, actually I can just copy this whole thing. I forget when the mayor's favorite cards occurred to me, or I think it might have even been a brainstorming session with one of the AI tools. That was just mind blowing, and it felt like it was going to fix so many issues. I was really excited about it, and it's cool to see them kind of working out here. This is the variability that the game needed, right? Because most of it being so stable, it could feel repetitive. But if as these cards come out and they block places and they incentivize certain behaviors, that's where the variability is really going to come from. And I think that's great. I think that's amazing. There's a little variability in other ways. It's like what payouts are you going to get from what payouts are you going to get from I forget, I was really distracted. I just got a text. I don't remember at all what I was saying now, actually. Why are these off? Is the size not quite right? I think that was it. Oh, the payouts from the markets are variable, and then of course, this is what I think I'm really most excited about in this game is the emergent asymmetry. That there are upgrades that both players have access to, and then there's a race for the grant office upgrades, so that you really do gain really powerful abilities that the other player can't gain. I'm excited about that. And then the way the bank is working now, very, very excited about that. Like you can really build this little economic engine up. So anyway, stoked about the way that this game started as like an oversimple solvable abstract puzzle, but now I think it's maturing quite a lot. I can't say that for sure until we actually start playing, but I feel really good about where it's going. So anyway, corporate incentive. What was this idea before? So end movement on Syrup Inc. while having 2 of your cubes currently on the Syrup Inc. card. I think I just had a thought where I think you're gonna take a weak turn. You're gonna give up a future strong turn for whatever this benefit is gonna be. I feel good about this. Okay, so this is gone. And what I'm communicating here is, oh. So there cannot be any cubes. So these are going to come in here. Okay, and I'll expand these. Not too big, I guess. So the thought here is that the player cannot have, where is one of those red X? Oh, there's one here. Actually, no, there's one there in the grant office. Okay, the idea here is that they cannot have cubes on these spaces. So, in other words, they're giving up. They have to take a weak turn in 2 turns. So I think this is actually kind of cool. It won't feel great. It's hard to see. I think I need to make these a little bit smaller. Anyway, I could have just put words here, but remember, we're going for icons. And then what's the payout? Actually, I'll be right back. It's been kind of hot recently. Like even now, I'm just sitting here. It's early morning. It's 6:15 right now, and it's like hot enough that I'm just like passively sweating. I feel like it's not my It might be my physiology, but I don't think so. Okay. It is true though that like because of my weird neck stuff, like weird nerve things that can happen, it can change like what's going on um in my body. Like I can feel overheated if my nerves are like super irritated and stuff. It's crazy. Or like that's why sometimes you'll see I'm scratching my neck. There's no I think that's nerve irritation. So it's not great. Um okay, now what's the payout for doing this? I think money as a payout is just not very exciting. But I don't know. There are none other there are no other just money payouts right now. So it's an easy one to do. So I think I'll just go for it here. And I'll just give me a couple of these. Okay, so this is fine. Yeah, like it's fine to have a money payout, right? Like, cool. You might as well have it somewhere. But let's make it significant. Like, I feel like 10 is probably good. So that's a great trade-off, actually. Am I going to take 10 money now? And what is the Syrup Ink activation cost? I think it's only one. It's only one, but I feel like two is probably reasonable here. I don't know. We'll see how that bears out. But spend 2 cubes and sacrifice. You're not sacrificing 2 cubes, but just on this turn, the idea is this turn you can't have added cubes to your you can't have added cubes on your previous turn. You can't have added them to your to the evaporator. And you would do this, you would get your 10 money. So it's 2 cubes. That seems fine. Okay, so this is good. Closer be market. So this is an easy one. Okay, so gaining an extra card is fine. It's not that exciting, but it's okay. think you should probably add to the cost here. Yeah, I think I have an idea for this one. So what type of, so this is any turn, so it would be like this. You know what? I don't have any more ongoing benefits. I think I should have one of the following. I feel like I should actually reorganize these right now. Just gonna. So I am gonna keep this a 1 cost, right? Because it should be easy, especially like I observed before. If I cover a building, especially a cheap one, it could lock down the game. So here, actually, I just realized I don't think I need to add this. Market Monkey. So I'm thinking I can. I'm thinking to activate it. Let me grab this stuff. I'm going to size it here. Close enough, right? So I'm going to drop it in here and make it, add the cost. Make it what? 3? Just like pay 3 money. That's not a big deal. And then ditch this card. So that's what is indicated here. So I don't actually technically need. Where is Closer to Market? I actually need some of these things. Are these grouped? Then I'm going to make a copy and delete everything. That's not draw a card. Okay, draw a card. And, oh, why is it like that? Why? That was weird. I want to say draw an additional card. come up here and size it a little better. But that's fine, right? And then I'm going to add, so it's like when activating, draw an additional card. I just need a plus, or maybe I don't. Yeah, like why am I taking the, why does this take so long? Just to like look for the symbols I need. Stream looks okay, but Facebook is complaining a little bit. Everything seems okay. Perfect. So add an additional card, right? Draw one more. And then gain, I think gain some money back. Plus maybe it should cost 4. This is too valuable to be 1 cube, I think. So that means when activating, draw a card and gain money back. No, that's a lot of money. Because it's gained an additional card. Right? So it's at least, this one is at least worth, well, how much is going to net? So if it's average 2 point something, let's say they draw a 2 and a 3, so they get 5, 8 money. It costs them 2 cubes and 4 money. So it's not great, right? Ooh. No, we have other incentives. Life's not all about money, right? So now that's pretty cool actually. I don't think I like all of these plus signs, but is what it is at this point. So 4 money for a cube and an extra card. I feel like that's pretty good. Yeah. That's right. I don't want to forget um hmm. Um I Ooh, interesting. I also Oh, wow. So I just had another thought. I just had another thought, and that is that the the player should have here's another condition I think that is kind of cool. So let me see what we need. Okay, so we'll have another ditch. I want another ongoing ability. I don't want to forget that. But for this one, I think I want the player to have trashed at least twice, or it's like not caught syrup at least twice. That's pretty cool, right? Because it's putting them a little bit on the edge. Let me just copy that. Is it lined up? Because it's red, I can't really tell. Make the outline. Make that green. Remove the fill. So I guess it could be either of these. So actually let me put a different shape in there. It's this shape that will work. So the idea is that they could pick either of these, or they could have they've trashed cubes at least twice is what this is communicating. I like that a lot. And this is for the warehouse. So let me go grab the warehouse. Scrolling around all over the place is not that fun to me. Starting to get hungry. It's a little motivator. I have a couple more here. I need to. There's a few more to design. Like that. Warehouse Wonder. I think I also like the like you choose when to do this stuff. I think ditching a card, like discarding this card to get something, and the players have a choice of when to do that, I think is actually good. I think that's important. Um, Wait, what's that ongoing one? I forget now. Oh, because it's just the Flapjack House, but it's only 5 things. So this now, these could be, these are more, hmm. Okay, I think I'm gonna make this one the grant office discount because this is already being a little bit risky. So they're probably pumping up the the grant office with cubes. So they're gonna be doing this anyway, but it adds to the potential risk, right? Hmm. It's also going to cost. It's going to cost the money at the end of the game, so I don't mind that. Okay, so why did I not add the... I feel like I should have the text in here. Okay. Okay, this is going to take... Okay, when activating the grant office, I'm going to go get this little group of cubes. How many are in there? There are 7, so that's good. And then I'll show... Just show one of these little folders. Just delete all the rest of the stuff. So I think a discount of, what's too many? I don't know, I think a discount of 3 should be fine, right? Let me get one of these. Two of them. Okay, now will this be really hard to see? Yeah, I'm not sure what it is I feel right now. Kind of potential migraine coming on. I'm trying to get. So I think that's not too bad as a. Let me group all this stuff. Nope. Yeah, I like that. Like, I kind of want these cards to be a no-brainer. I think that's important. Um, should this cost 2 or 3? Because this is pretty powerful. I think it should cost 3. It's powerful to get a grant in general, but then to get a big discount, that should be a big deal. Town Park. Farland Market. Okay, these don't apply at all anymore. I guess one-time benefits are really good. You know what? Maybe these should all be. Maybe these should all be one-time use, just discard them. Or I guess it would be flip them over, right? To spend them or something like that. I actually like this idea. I think I like this better actually. Let them all be one-time use and just make them flip over these cards. Oops. Oh, I didn't realize. I did not know you could do that. Huh. I thought they always just kind of disappear. So flip this card. Because why not, right? Why not give them like agency here, right? They should have some sense of when it would be good for them to use this. So it's just flip over this card. Even this one, like just let them run it when they want to. Because this is when a player will get to feel I think this is also the player will get to feel clever when they when they get to use these cards at the right moment, right? That's when they'll feel that will allow them to feel clever, or will give them the opportunity to feel clever, which I think is really important. Okay, I like these ideas. So far we we have not used gain a cube immediately. So what are a couple of other requirements that could be, or costs, or situations? Like choices the player could be making that they choose not to because so you can get an extra die roll. That could be one. It's boring, but it is a thing. Ooh. Ooh. um. I think remove a cube from the bank. Ouch. Oh, that would need to be a really powerful thing though, right? What should this be covering up is a big question. Because I just had an idea. Like, a community project for a discount. Yeah, this is tough. Because if you're about to permanently weaken, okay, so I think I've got. So I think I'll do Farland Market. No. Hmm. So what do I want to cover up here? Wow, so we're 1 month away from the retreat. That's crazy. September 3. Okay, so this is going to be to remove a cube. Remove one cube. I think remove 2 cubes. This might be nuts. I'm going to change the color here. You know what? I think I'm going to try this differently. Yeah. I can just make this red, right? And just kind of highlight the emptiness. I think that's okay. Um, I guess I don't know. I don't know how to say. I think that's probably okay. Oh. This is the way to do it. For some reason, I have a Tangled song in my head right now. And then I'll just make these three. Almost transparent. It's pretty good, right? Yeah, that's pretty cool. Nice. Okay, now here's the crazy part, right? Remove 2. Now, how to say remove 2? Let me get the bank. And these little dang it, why did I delete those? Oh, they're in the grant office. That's what I meant to do. Maybe I could just go here. I think this is crazy. Is that clear? That's not that clear, right? I think I'll make this smaller. That will help a little bit. Like, that's tough. So I think I can try it. Yeah, because I think you still need to gain it. That's really, really powerful. But the thing that works about this idea is that you're gonna be um, you're gonna be weakening yourself economically, like crazy, right? So I think for that reason, it's probably okay. Wait. Right? I would think so. So you ditch 2 cubes off of the bank. And then later you can get a community project for free. Like that seems pretty nuts, but awesome. So it's going to cost you 3 to activate it, right? And then you'll lose. I don't know. You should probably still. I think I'm going to make this 8. It's like do any community project for 8. Okay, I've got 1 card left. And where's this going? Farland Market? Or Town Park? Hmm. I think I'll do this one at Farland Market. I just realized I should make these look a little less similar. One way to do it is just to get rid of this guy. Cool. I'm getting super close. I think I already know. Hmm. I mean, this is it's tough because that is tough. I'm excited to see how people relate to that idea. Okay, so the last one is the town park. And I think what's going to happen here is that the town park, first of all, let me add that. If I can. It's locked, that's why. Just get the whole park in there. Why not? And I think this one is going to be pretty simple, pretty easy. But I want to add, I want to give the player one of these, or maybe two. Why did I pick? Do I have any other? I do. Hello? What was that? Okay, I think after this, I'm pretty sure after this I'm done. Double check everything. Hmm. So this is the one I really should have gotten. No, I guess it's this. I'm sure this scrolling up and down is almost like dizzying. Okay. So now I've got what I need. Okay. Group those, get rid of this guy. So this is a big deal because 2 cubes. Well, actually, if you've got to spend 2, what else would somebody want? There are no upgrades for a discount, so those always feel too strong to me, though. But I like it. I like it better than... You know what? This might be too much. I think I'm going to switch them. I think I am. So let me do this. That's gonna be crazy, actually. Yeah, you should not be able to run your whole thing. So this is gonna be awesome. It's gonna be 0, but I'm gonna make it 4 cubes. Actually, I'm gonna swap these. The reason is that I don't want to lock up the town park for very long. Should I make it 5? 4 cubes seems okay. This still calls Farland fuel. All right. I do believe this is a full draft. So this is still not. These are so strong. I'm excited about that. Oh, yeah, I'm pretty pumped about that. Oh. So he takes. So he's gonna take here. So he's gonna get at least, like, this could have been a mistake. Shoot. Playing a little chess on my phone against Roger. I haven't won a game against Roger in like 4 games. 4 or 5. I'm really excited about these developments. So are the costs right? Probably not. Are there any super overpowered bonuses or upgrades? Probably. So anyway, now it's simply time to playtest. Another thing that's probably the case is it's probably the case that that the number of cubes in the sugar bush is way off. Like, that's probably the case. Like, how are you gonna get to do all this stuff? Yeah. I really, really like how streamlined it is. There's very little upkeep. There's only one time when you flip the sugar bush, you only flip the warehouse. There's nothing else that is bothersome like that. I'm very, very close to language independence, which I'm very excited about. I feel like that is, can I say it, a game changer for this game. All the text on the card was really difficult to process. On the cards was really difficult to process, but here I think obviously there's going to need to be really, really well written reference material, but I think for the most part, the cards, their effects should be legible. I think this is really great. I love how, well, actually, let me see here. I need to add these too. So 20 money is not going to be enough, but that's okay. I can update that pretty easily. That took 2 hours. Well, I think I chatted for probably 30 minutes, right? Or stepped out, and I think probably a total of 30 minutes. But it is crazy that 5 cards, the 5 mayor's favor cards that were left, took that long. That's crazy. Okay, I think there are some really, really cool ideas in this game, and it's taken a long time to get here. I think I started, let me see when I first made notes. I think I checked this recently. November 9, so this took like 10 months. I took pretty long breaks, but hmm. Um, hmm. So Matt playtested, um, and it looks like he gave feedback. So I wonder when I tested with. It looks like this is when I tested. And anyway, this is already March. Where are these notes? Where I had these notes? Shem, I played Shem. Shem's observations led to really important experiments. Um, hmm. That was in April. And then this changed everything about how town worked, and I really thought it was cool. I actually still, there's still some similar thinking with the cube costs, the serve costs. Okay, and then um, wow, yeah. See, I have been actually fairly consistent in working on this. even though I feel like I lost some flavor, I think this is so much cleaner. Yeah, because the decisions, this is not really a true decision. The main thing you have to care about here is, excuse me, is how many cubes go in the Sugar Shack, right? And then, so my starting turn and my turn, cubes shift, and then you decide to bottle or not. I think this is still potentially interesting here, because what I just realized is, do I even need this evaporate step? Probably not, right? But it is kind of a preview. So I don't technically need the evaporate step. Hmm. Hmm. Like, what's it doing there now? So at the end of my turn, I just decide how many. Is it important that there's a cost to bottle? Oh, okay, I just got a little bit nervous here. I think so because it keeps players, it forces them to be a little conscientious about their big spending. Then obviously filling still works. I think I'll leave it. I'll try it for sure. But one possibility is that um, to completely eliminate the evaporate step. And the reason why I might do that is it reduces the cube pushing, which seems fine, right? It just takes out one step that the cubes go through. But it also, like, I'm deciding this turn how many cubes I want next turn. Right? So I think this actually might be like an advanced version. Dang it. I think I'm just going to do it. So this is pretty much... Is this better? Hmm. In a way, I kind of like the problem of not knowing how many I kind of like the problem of having, I'm going to just build this and test it. Yeah, the only real difference here is that this slides over. So what this does is it makes it really clear it makes it really clear how many cubes you need to buy, right? Yeah, I think this is even better. Dang it. Oh. Let me have a look. Oh, I need the star. Sad that my armrest is completely like ripping to pieces. I don't even know how. I guess I just put a lot of weight on the inside. So I don't know whether I should try to glue it. I tried to tape it. The little bit of tape fell off. $7.45. Okay. You know what I should add is a tree. That's just so crazy. Like, I should go back and look at. Yeah, like hold this in your mind, right? And let me see if I can quickly go back and find some old Sugar Shack stuff. Here's one, but it's not old enough to really show how much things have changed. Look at the difference. So this is you had to take actions to make all this happen. Like that is a pretty good sample. Same. Okay, this is the same. I wonder if I have any really old. I feel like I must. That's one. Okay, that's an old version. Looks like another old version. Reducing, I just kept reducing. No, this is a newer one. Do I have like a really, really old? Anyway, you can see how insanely different. That's old too. Like that's just so wild. All these different versions, options, choices. But now the focus is really, I think it's much clearer. I think it's much more streamlined. Like this is even crazy, right? So you've got your little resource engine. Hmm. Yeah. I think it's something. I almost wonder if I should just get rid of these. No, I'm gonna test it. Yeah. Okay. It's been a good long session. Thanks for joining. Thanks for being a part of this situation, this story, this journey. Um, it's just so good. It's so good to be able to try to offer people interesting puzzles and problems, something that they'll remember and enjoy, build memories with friends, friends and family with. I think it's just a cool thing to be doing, cool thing to be working on, and I've really benefited from this routine. So yeah, it's just been really, really cool. So anyway, I think that's it for me for today. I will certainly see you soon.